Hello, we're going to make some homemade gelatin plates today, and in the tray we have some plastic pastry cutters and some metal ones. I have found since making these initial ones that the metal ones stick if you don't grease them, so I've gone to using all plastic ones that you'll see later. So I've just put 240 millilitres of water into my mixing bowl, and I'm squeezing in 240 millilitres of glycerin. You can get this from Amazon for about £6. I've just bought 5 litres for just over 20. If you buy it from the supermarket, it's really expensive. So I'm now going to add the glycerin to the water, making sure it all comes out the container. And this is gelatin again from Amazon. That's about £6 for that amount. You can get it from the supermarket, it would be a lot more expensive. So I'm going to put 4 tablespoons of gelatin into my jug. And then I'm going to take it off to the microwave. My microwave took about 3 minutes. But what I suggest you do is you put it in for a minute, stir it, put it in for a minute, stir it, and so on until it's all dissolved. Alternatively, you can put it in a pan and heat it gently. Don't allow it to boil on the cooker top. Please freeze the video if you want to write this recipe down. It will appear again at the end of the video clip. So I've come back from the microwave. My gelatin has melted. I've checked that there's no crystals left in it. So it's a bit like making jelly from jelly crystals, really. And I found the method that works best is if you pour into the moulds first, and then you surround the moulds with the gelatin mixture as well. You will get some seepage, but once the tray itself is full, then the level in the moulds will stay constant. And don't worry about the bits that are wasted around the edge, or you think they're wasted, because they can be redone. So I filled all my tray up and pop it into the fridge. It takes a couple of hours in the fridge to go off. I'm just checking to make sure there's no air bubbles and popping those, because you don't want air bubbles on the top. So since I did this initial portion of the video showing you how to make it, I've bought some new trays, and I made sure when I bought them that they got completely flat bottoms. One was from the pound shop, the round one, the other one was from Amazon, which was £3 or £4. So I'm now going to show you that the jelly plates come off these trays really easily. They've made a lovely surface to print on. Now the gel that I've used for these is actually gel that's been reheated, and at the end of this video I show you how to reheat it and reuse it. It's dead simple. So I'm really pleased with the square one as well. So I'm putting those trays to the side, and here you can see I've got lots of different shapes. So I went onto eBay and I bought some different pastry cutters so that I could have a go at different shapes, and I'm really pleased with them because the metal round ones stuck, whereas the plastic ones don't. You'll see in a minute they just lift up. So I'm just lifting them up like you would do if you cut into pastry, and moving them away. So to get the gelatin off these moulds, I just had to push that one out there. I just put them on some hot water. Run them under some hot water, then clean them in soapy water. So in a minute you'll see that I'm going to pull away the bits that I don't need. And again, as I've said before, it's not waste. You can remelt this, and I'll show you at the end how to do that. It's dead simple. And I've got lots of interesting shapes there. So I've got a fluted circle, a plain edge circle, a flower shape, a couple of squares, and some extra flower shapes as well. I'm really quite pleased with how these have turned out. Then the other tray, same procedure again. pull out the moulds. Now it seems to be the smaller the mould, the trickier it is to get it off. The smaller the cutter rather. Look, it's come now, and I've released some of the other ones. That one's come off. Just be very careful but very firm. And then once again I'm going to pull off the background gelatin mixture, and that will go into a box ready to so that I can remelt it and use it again. Every time you remelt it, it goes a little bit more yellow, but it's still quite usable. So again, I'm really quite pleased with these moulds, the shapes, the jelly plates rather. They've worked really, really well. So I'm just, at the minute, I'm just stacking them up on the side to have a look what we've done, what I've made. So I've got quite a few round ones now. So you can use them as jelly plates, or you can attach them to an acrylic block and stamp with them. So one side of the moulds, on that one, the cutter is a straight edge, and the other is a fluted edge, so it's curvy. So that's how I got the second lot of circles. They've got some hearts and some stars. Really quite cool. So all the gelatin has been put to one side to reheat it later. So I'm going to just show you now how I store, or how you can store them. So you could store them in a box, as I'm just about to show you now. Now it's just an ordinary Tupperware box. It doesn't need to go in the fridge at all. I've just got them laid up in there. As you can see, some of those have got a lot of paint on because they've been used. And you can see you can just stack them up like that and put them into your box. Now I've got some square jelly plates there, and I've worked out that I've got a new one, so I'm just going to put the other one into the pile for remelting. There's no point in keeping it again. Again, the flour is the same. So I've got a nice pile of flour stencils, jelly plates rather, going off there that I can play with. So there's another way of storing them. I use IKEA resealable bags. There can be any resealable bags. So these have got the not the zip ones that just push together plastic strips. And then I use this acetate sheet. Now this is actually acetate sheet from when you have a spiral binding machine, and these are the project covers and backs that I've got hanging around. But you can buy this in sheets. You could use overhead projector sheets, transparencies. And I'm just putting my square one on nice and in place rather, and then I'm just going to get some scissors and trim it off so it's not got excess hanging over the edge. I'm not precious about it being square or straight. If you want to get it square and straight, use a ruler. It's just for storing my jelly plates and putting in. So I've got a film on the top, film on the bottom, a bit like you'd have if you got silicone stamps. Pull it open and then just slot the jelly plate in. So there's two ways of possibly storing it there: in a bag or in a box. So I'm trying to rearrange them to get them into my box. My box is a bit small. So I decide that I'm going to put them all onto sheets like the one before. So just wanted to finish off by showing you how I've laid these out for storage. I've decided to put them all on this clear film. All the ones you saw in that film are together. I can can put all those like that, that will be fine. And I can put them together in one of these IKEA bags. I say they're IKEA bags, these are from IKEA, but you can use any Ziploc bag, any of these ones that have got the sealable. Just easier to have it sealable. I've had one of these sat on my kitchen window ledge to see whether it did go funny. It's now nearly the end of January, and I did it at the beginning of December, and it didn't go funny at all. And my kitchen gets really hot in the daytime and really cold at night because it's in a conservatory. So that's how you can store them. You will be okay to store them like that. I would probably put a piece of card in between and put a piece of thin card. But if they get damaged, you can just remake them. It's not a problem. So have a play. I'd love to see what you've been doing. Post a comment below. Post your work on the website, on the Facebook site, the Bible Journaling UK Facebook site. So I said I'd show you how to reheat them. So basically I put all my bits into a saucepan, stirring it round to mix it all up, and you can see the paint flecks that are sitting in the saucepan at the minute. When it's all melted, so I'm lifting it up to check that there's no bits, I'm going to find a tub, I'm going to get a sieve, and I'm going to tip it in through the sieve, and that I'm just going to store it in that tub until I need it, and I can cut it up into chunks to remelt it. But I could be tipping it into new moulds if that was what I wanted to do. So as you can see, as I lift the sieve, you can see all the bits of paint that were stuck to the jelly plate before. So I'm going to show you the recipe again, so please like and subscribe.